The sponsor of today's interview is College Soccer's Next. College Soccer's Next is the #1 college soccer recruiting service focused on helping aspiring prospective student athletes achieve their dreams of playing college soccer. Some of the services that they're able to provide, I got to read them off the list, include a college soccer mentor who's gone through the recruiting process firsthand, a strength and conditioning coach, a sports nutrition coach, a professional highlight video editor, as well as a personal evaluation and strategic proven plan of action, as well as much, much more to make your dreams of playing college soccer turn into a reality. Book your free consultation call today down in the description at collegesoccersnext.com. Take your first steps at earning your college soccer scholarship today. Enjoy the episode, folks. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Kickball Podcast. It's about 8 o'clock at night tonight, but I hit up Victor, we talked a little bit and we figured, hey, this is time for us to be able to get this in, so I got to make myself available. Victor Gaulmin, my man, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. I mean, I get to have a conversation, so I'm always feeling great. I got to talk a little low, but we're all perfect, man. Um, so for those of you who don't know about Victor's story, I mean, he's one of the best players that St.Olaf's College has ever seen. Transferred to Akron this past year. He's got 4 goals, 8 assists in his lone season with the Zips. Looking to make a run into the national tournament a little bit later into this year. I mean, has had a phenomenal college career. I'm excited to see where he's going to end up going, but now we're getting the opportunity here for you guys to hear out his story and see why you should be so invested in Victor. So, the first thing I want to talk about is, just how the season has gone as a whole for Akron. I mean, I know it's going great as of late, but tell me about, about preseason lining up a little bit before. I want to hear it all.
Yeah, I feel like, and we all agree to say it was my teammates and I, like we kind of started slow. Obviously, it was like I think 15 or 14 newcomers into the team, so it's never easy to have like a lot of new guys coming to a team and to build like chemistry. So it took a while. I think we tied Notre Dame first game. We lost first game at home against Ohio State,
Oh,
and the first win was like I think the fourth game against VCU. No, the third game maybe against VCU. Um, and yeah, after we had like really tough games that we lost at home that we're not supposed to, I feel like we played a better. We were better than the opponents, but we just couldn't score. And when a team cannot score, it's always means like more of like chemistry, because I feel like, and I think like we have the best striker in the nation right now in the team. So the fact that he cannot score, like, it's pretty weird. I mean, we all knew that the quality that he has, and it was just chemistry. But when we find the rhythm, I mean, as we can see, it's like 10 games unbeaten, I think, or nine. So once we find the rhythm, I think we're pretty good. So it took a while. Preseason was tough. Um, we really had to find like a good chemistry between the lads all together in the locker room, on the field, off the field. So yeah, I think now we found it and we need to stay on it.
yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a great way to really look at that. And this is an Akron team that has not lost since September the 14th. It's been about two
Hmm.
months of it was a 9 game win streak and then a draw. I forget it was again. I think it was against
You,
UConn
yeah,
at the regular season finale, but then coming right back and beating DePaul. I mean, to advance further into the Big East tournament. I mean,
hmm,
that's
it is.
so. One match I want to talk about. Firstly though too. I mean, the VCU game that we talked about. It was a match. I think it was a 4-0 win for you
Yeah.
guys. And I know you had 2 assists. One of them, like we were talking about a little bit before, before we started recording. I mean, off a corner kick and perfectly placed in the middle of that box to make it 2-0. But, with that being the fifth game of the year, 2 draws, 2 losses, to start out. But, tell me how much that match really showed maybe things to come for Akron, how exciting that this team really could be.
Yeah, that game. So I think VCU at the time was like 13 or 12 in the nation,
Right. Yeah.
and you go play at this like Notre Dame, Utah, and you lost at home for home opener against Ohio State, which is like unbelievable this year. Um, and you lost at home for the home opener. You're like, oh, okay, like that's gonna be a tough season. Even though they're really good, but I think we didn't show up on the day. Um, and we have VCU at home again, and we were like we wanted to show to the fans that we were like involved and this season's gonna be special.
Mm.
And I think we did. It was a really tough game, but we all showed up. We were uh, really angry at the time. We really wanted to win. And yeah, I had 2 assists on the day. Talk a lot with the coaching staff about like set pieces and stuff. We worked a lot on this. And I remember our head assistant coach told us before the game that if I have like a good services on corner kick, we'll score corner kick. So I just focus on that during the whole game. Same for free kick, because I had like 2 assists on set pieces basically, and we knew that VCU uh, could be in difficulty if we were like good on set pieces. So we tried to. That's what we tried to do at the time, and it works really well. So I think that win was like, all right, if we like strong mentally and we play our game, we can be really, really good.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that was well said. It really is just about, yeah, and it's difficult to go through those the bumps in the road earlier on in the year just because you don't know if those are the kinds of things that you're going to be able to get around because this is a new
Yeah,
group like we're talking about. I mean, having 15 people come in, it's not difficult to have that gel right away in the regular season and being able to make those set pieces work. But obviously that didn't end up taking too much into effect this year considering how much success has been had. But I mean, phenomenal though. And I want to talk about the unbeaten streak too. I mean, when I say when you're in the middle of it, you're in the middle of it right now, but tell me about how great that this really does end up feeling. Was there, any inclination that, you know, uh, like you're going to be fighting so much more for this next game because you don't want to break the streak? Like, is there a certain
yeah.
spirit that surrounds this team at that point?
Honestly, just when you're on a winning streak, you just go, I will say, to work or you go to practice every morning with a smile, but also like just with anger because you just like we all winners in my team at least, and you just want to win every time. Um, so like just by knowing that you don't want to lose, it's more the feeling that you don't want to lose. I think even more at that time because it's like 10 games that we've been not defeated. So you just want to keep doing it. It's just like an amazing feeling to know that you won the game and like I don't know, like the drive back or just going back home and you just lay on your bed. And you're like, all right, mission accomplished today. So like day's done. So well done. It's just so nice, and we want to go as far as we can. So we just have to win.
And and I mean, this is a team that has really thrived on the offensive opportunities. I mean, we talk about Emil. I think
Yeah,
it's like 20 goals in this season though too. I think
yeah,
or
22 right now.
22. Like you can't even fathom that number.
Yeah,
Like I mean, but I know there's even guys like I mean, of course yourself, Malik Henry, guys who are really able to play. Well, Malik Moore, I feel like plays a little bit on that wing, but you're able to command that
yeah.
midfield, be able to create chances in the middle. I mean, it really just ends up being a perfect storm for you guys.
Yeah, it is. And Tyson, Tyson on the left side, Malik on the right, Emil on top. Just, I mean, as a midfielder, it's kind of easy. Like you don't know what to do. You just give them the ball and they'll do it.
I mean, that's a pro caliber
Oh yeah,
front
100%.
part of you guys.
Yeah. No, yeah, those guys on top are like different animals.
Yeah. And so I want to ask a little bit about, just your role in this whole machine though too. I mean, I know with St. Olaf's, I mean, you were a guy you never I feel like, watching back some of the other films from, like I told you a little bit, I was watching really 2021 and 2023 because I'm one
Yeah,
of the two ends.
yeah,
But you were able to play the 6, 8, and the 10 at any point. And I feel like
yeah.
we're still able to see the versatility now with different positions. But,
hmm
with your own personal role, where does this really look like? What do you think your skills that are really being utilized, at least in this season, this new environment as well?
Um, so that yeah, you say my freshman, I mean sophomore year because of COVID at St.Olaf, I was playing more as a six. Uh, and I really like this position because you kind of dictate the game um, and you keep possession. Um, and during my season, I play a little higher
Right.
because at the Division 3 level, I was able to like score and be able to score with headers or just score like in the box from crosses and stuff like that. And that's what kind of happened, I think, here. Or I also I ran a lot. And so for pressing and stuff, I would say I'm kind of sacrificing myself to press for Emil and Dyson and Malik, even though they press a lot as well. Um, but yeah, I stay a lot higher to help Emil sometimes, and I think it works pretty well because our guy on top is just scoring 22 goals. So I'm not gonna give it to myself like, oh, I've done everything because I'm pressing a lot or I help him a lot. No, don't get me wrong, he's unbelievable, but I think we do a really good work all together. And yeah, in the midfield also, I'm like, we have Matty Dries and Kuzi, who's just unbelievable players that just help you so much. You just feel so well rounded, and you just want to be as good as them. So he helps. Yeah,
Right. And another thing I want to ask about too with this high press that you're talking about, I mean, this is something that I feel like is really characterized,
yeah,
and you guys do it in a way to where it works so consistently and being able to have the communication in the middle of the field. I mean, you know, like the pitch really is separated into these five zones, and you really need to be cognizant of, where certain, opponent set pieces are going to be going, understanding like A and B options and where that ends up working out. But, I go to Cornell, and so many teams they try out this high press at Cornell,
hmm
and it really has not worked to their
yeah.
favor. Cornell's just been able to work their way around that kind of thing. But, from your perspective, what allows this to work so well to a point where I mean we're seeing 3-0 results at least as of lately where this system really kicks into gear. Like where does your role really fit with this high press and even with the communication between other midfielders and wing backs? I'm curious about that.
Um, yeah. Honestly, first I want to say like the coaches help a lot with that. They're like really good. Honestly, they're unbelievable coaches. So we worked a lot on that, like the day of, or the day prior, or the day of the game. So we help a lot, and all the guys we trust each other, which help on the high press. We know that if I go press the center back or the midfielder, the guys around me like know that I will be able to get the ball back, and we work really well as a team. When someone's pressing, someone's maybe is gonna drop and like get harder if I don't get the ball back and stuff like that. So we just like as mentioned, just a chemistry as a team, and we talk a lot. Beto, number 8, the center back, Jonas, they talk a lot. The captains just talk a lot and lead us. And also when you have like you say pro caliber play on top, it's pro caliber with the ball, but also off the ball. So they understand really quickly what they have to do defensively, when to press, when not to press. So it just help. And for myself, just yeah, I mean, when you have players like that around you that just talk to you and lead you on and tell you what to do, you just do it, and it just helps a lot. So and yeah, I give everything out there on the press. I think I run a lot, which help obviously when to press. And yeah, honestly, I think we have been doing it really really well. But first, I would just say the coaches are really good and help us a lot. So yeah.
Very nice. Well, I appreciate all the insight that you've been able to give me over this just this past year. It's been I really like being able to talk with you guys about that. I kind of nerd out a little bit, but I really, really do appreciate it.
Of course.
And I mean, I could talk a lot about, just this past season and what's to come for Akron. I'll get a little bit into that, a little bit later on, but I want to give you the space to talk about your journey in as much detail or as little, but I want to hear everything, me personally. But tell me about your footballing journey from your first memories, up until let's say committing to St. Olaf's for your freshman year.
Yeah. Yeah. So my family, so I'm from France, um, from Brest, which is in the West Coast, Northwest. Unbelievable. If you want to go, it's beautiful. Except in the winter, it's rainy and cloudy, but the summer is amazing.
Writing it
And
down.
and I played for the academy team until like 13, 14 years old, which is Brest. Right now they're playing like a Champions League, the first team. So yeah, it was. I remember It was really nice. So my brother, I have an older brother, uh, 3 years older than me. So we play the same team until we got released at like 14 maybe, and we went to like a small club, regional club. Um, Name is Gibawa, and I played there until 20 years old, 19 years old. Um, I played the highest level of like regional level. We playing against really good teams at the time. And when I was like 17, I started to play for the first team, so like the seniors. Um, when I was 17 and you play against like 35 years old uh, guys, it's just a huge difference. And I played for those 2 years. It was amazing, amazing moment for me just to play with old guys like that and just older when you're 17 is always like when you do your debut, it's just nice.
Mm.
And at 19, I decided to join my brother at St.Olaf because my brother went to the US before me at St.Olaf because we just wanted to be able to live like to have an amazing experience in the US. Be a student athlete is like unbelievable. Honestly, you wake up in the morning, go to class, and go to practice, and just everything at the same place. It's not like that in France. You have a club and you have a school. Um, Here in the US is the same, so it's really nice. Part of being part of a community, it's like always great, and also to be able to speak English. Freshman year, trust me, I couldn't speak any English, and it was tough that time. But I'm glad I made through it because now I think if I need to find a job or whatever, being bilingual is always a plus. It's always a great attribute to have. And yeah, my brother went through FFF USA. It's like a French association for players. I didn't personally because my brother was already at St.Olaf playing for the team, so I just joined him. Um, and once I got there, uh, it was special. I mean, it was so different. Like I said, I wasn't really good at speaking in English, so it was tough. And thank God that my brother was there to help me with that because he was really good in English, Almido. But yeah, it was really tough, and I had a good time at St. Olaf. Amazing experience. I met people that I like. I'm really glad. Uh, I've made my best friend. Um, Now I think they're really close to them. Thinking about like Akeem Morgan or Jordan Oberholzer, and those guys are like brothers for life. And I'm really glad that I've made it. And sometimes I look at me like probably 5 years ago, and I'm like how did I make this? And I'm really happy because it's a life-changing experience, and really glad for it.
So, I mean, I know you had, your brother at St. Olaf's, and I think it's pretty known how much of a powerhouse that they are at that Division 3 level. But I know, and we talked a little bit about this though too. I mean, the first times that you step into the United States, this was the COVID year where so
Yeah.
much shut down. Tell me about
hmm
what that period was like. I mean, did it feel like, I mean, I know you had your brother there and that must have been really assuring at that point, but I mean,
hmm
I gotta imagine like you gotta be thinking second thoughts at that, what was that period like, if you don't mind me asking?
Of course. No, it was tough because it was I mean, COVID obviously was a really tough thing for everyone. And leaving your home country to another country was like a new culture and everything. Um, it's like pretty, I mean, it's hard. And once I got to Olaf, everything was different, but also the same in a way. Like you have to stay 2 weeks into your room until like you clear, and you can go out with the mask and everything. So it was hard. I was roommate with an American that obviously speak English, and I couldn't. And for 2 weeks, we were just together in the same room. It was really funny. And obviously, St.Olaf is in Minnesota, which it's for me right now probably the coldest place that I've been to. And yeah, I remember the first day I called my parents and I said like, "Where am I?" Because it was like I think it was negative something, and I was like, "What is that?" And yeah, I called my parents. I told them like, "Yeah, I don't know if I made the good decision, honestly." And yeah, it was tough. The first few months was tough, but COVID obviously was tough for everyone. But I was like, should I stay? We have been able to practice with mask, which
Oh,
was weird. Yeah, and but I'm glad we've been able to practice because I wasn't sure at the time that it was gonna happen. So when he did, I was like, all right, at least I have practices so I can still enjoy. And I was actually thinking to going home after during the summer and not coming back because of COVID. It was so different. And my brother told me, all right, come with me. You'll see it's the fall season now, so you're gonna enjoy it. Let's try it. And loved it, really loved it. And after I just couldn't wait to come back when I was home and just I was so excited for the next season, for the next stuff happening.
and I mean, but I know you had people in your life. I mean, it feels like really, your brother has been a such a helpful and a guiding light for you to be, part of this college soccer scene, just to understand, certain
Yeah.
dynamics about how things going on, being able to adjust into English, keeping you at St. Olaf, so we're able really to have this kind of conversation.
Hmm.
Tell me about
Yeah.
your relationship with him, your bond with him.
My brother is honestly everything to me. We've been so close with each other. It's only 3 years difference, and we always been doing everything together since really young age, playing soccer, or going to school in the same school, going to practices all together, just doing exactly the same stuff. Like I said, we played together at the academy, but we got released, and so we play at the same club together. So we were just going to practice together, um, always doing everything together. And I think it was kind of the path for me to just follow him at St.Olaf. Um, and he has been a role model for me because like I think going to a country because he didn't have like a brother at St.Olaf before. So like it's not as easy as me. Uh, when I got there and I had my older brother, he went there, he didn't know anything. Like huge, huge, huge respect, and he's obviously a role model for me. And like I'm really grateful to have a brother like that. And now he doesn't play soccer anymore, but he comes to see me. He came like 4 weeks ago maybe in Akron to watch three of my games, and I remember when we made that late run into the tournament with St. Olaf last year. He wasn't playing, but like he was the most involved fan that I've seen. And he went to Chicago for the Elite Eight and the Sweet 16, and he went to the Final Four. So he flew from France for both time because he was just so involved and just wanted to see his little brother winning. And when you're a little brother and you know that you're at that place because of him, you just want to give him back. So yeah, really grateful. Um, I will tell him to watch the interview, and he will be happy about this moment because I usually don't tell him much. We don't say much about each other because I don't think we need to. We just
Right.
trust each other, and just by what we're doing, we know that we love each other. But yeah, really grateful for what he did for me.
So, I mean, I was gonna ask this a little bit later, but tell me about winning the national championship at the Division One level. Not only having the support, but being able to follow all the way through, being able to win that game. What do you remember from the game? And then, can you even describe that feeling of winning a national championship?
Yeah. Before I'll just mention that the 2 years prior, we end up Sweet 16 with St.Olaf. I always felt that we could have gone farther. So
Right.
it just left like a bitter taste.
Yeah.
And I remember preseason, we were already talking with my teammates about winning the national championship for during the preseason 2023, and we lost 3 games, the first 3 games of the season. And so at that time, we're all right. That's not gonna happen. Like you cannot start a season and win a national championship like that. And then we had a rough conversation with all of my teammates and the coaches saying like, we got to stop focusing on that. Just focus game after game. And then we did 22 games unbeaten, which is, I mean, unreal. I think the last game that we lost was like beginning of September, and until December we didn't lose a game, and we had only two or three ties, I think. So
Yeah.
no, it was crazy. But that game especially, I do believe you need chance to win a trophy. You need to have some moment of luck, um, and we did obviously. But that game was just special. I remember, and sometimes honestly, I still go back on the St.Olaf Athletics Instagram just to watch the video of the celebration. It just gives me so much goosebump, and I think it's honestly the best memories I have in soccer because I also share with my closest friends, um, friends that I've made during like tough times, being away from home and stuff. Uh, so yeah, it's honestly the best memory of my life, and yeah, just the game was just so hard. Amherst is a really good team that play quite a different soccer than St.Olaf at the time, but just so efficient. It was so hard, and we were losing 1-0, uh, come back up 1-1 and win overtime too. It's just a scenario. I mean, I just felt like it was written already. So, and the fans, so many person traveled to Virginia just to watch us, which is unreal. And yeah, honestly, just the best moment of my life as a soccer player.
I mean, like just describing that, I mean, you've always had the individual success throughout the 3 years, but being able to get to the top of the mountain
Yeah.
with your teammates is just something that is just so amazing, fulfilling, um,
Hmm.
joyful. I mean, I can't imagine that, you'll ever be off that high of winning with
Yeah.
best friends.
Yeah. And yeah, always done good individually, but never this. I mean, it's good, but personally for me, it's not what I'm looking for. It's more as a team, and the highest trophy that you can get is obviously winning the national trophy. So when we did it, and when you look around you and you see your best friends around you that just done it with you, just the best feeling ever.
So what do you see in this Akron team that, maybe is similar to the St. Olaf's team? Maybe not in game styles or anything tangible, but what feels similar this year with this team than, this national championship team that you're coming off of?
Brotherhood, honestly, more like a family. Just every time I've been part of a team, I've always been trying to be close, really close with teammates because I do feel that's where you like build a team and build like good teams. Um, and I'm really close with like Emil, Dyson, Malik, uh, Roberto, all those lads. I'm just really close to them and just love them. And I just feel like I see that off the field we all so close to each other that you can see on the field that we also like working well together. Like we mentioned when we're attacking really well together or defending on the press and stuff like that. Um, I just feel like a family. And yeah, before when we end up practice, we get all together just to end up practice, and it's a family on three, 1, 2, 3 family. It's just not like yeah, it's just family first. That's all we do, and yeah, really glad for that. And that's what I remember from St.Olaf, honestly.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I feel like I don't know if it's something that you've seen maybe with your academy days, as well, if it's something that you think is comparable to it, but sometimes I'll have certain conversations with guys, and the family aspect, the brotherhood aspect, sometimes is lost on some of them.
Yeah.
Not individually, and that I don't know if it's I don't know
Hmm.
if it's individual fault, but it's not ingrained in the team culture, and that's something that I've
Yeah.
seen firsthand. I mean, you know for people who are skeptics about it, just saying, if you brought the best 11 players out onto the pitch and you put them against people who are with the brotherhood, it wouldn't matter so much. But
Uh-huh.
you know, how how much of a difference do you think that there really is felt with the brotherhood versus a team that doesn't have it?
Oh, I think so much, honestly. Um, Obviously you need good players to win a game, but if you don't have like brotherhood, it's just I feel when it's gonna be a tough game, it's not gonna happen. Uh, when you're gonna play a tournament game away against a really tough team, and if you 1-0 down, uh, good players, it's not gonna. I mean, good players not gonna make it happen. Was not gonna win you the game. I mean, they will win you the game, but brotherhood will like keep you engaged into the game and
Right.
keep your head over the water. And it's kind of the example of the season where we're not really close to each other. Or obviously, 15 newcomers. It's always hard to get to know each other. And the start of season was kind of a resume, a summary of that. Start slow because we didn't know each other, and now we actually start to know each other and be really close to each other, and we've been decently good. So yeah, and you can see also the pro level. I think last year, 2 years ago, PSG was the best player that you can imagine.
Right.
Didn't achieve much because so much ego, not enough brotherhood. So yeah.
So I want to ask though too. I mean, tell me about the difference between, you know, uh, the expectation and the level of athleticism or the level of just the talent between Division Three and Division One. I mean, I've heard people talk about there's not much. It really is the monetary thing, but I
Uh-huh.
you know, I think there are certain things that you've taken from or that they really fine tune at St. Olaf's and have been able to bring at Akron. How much of a leap was that for you?
Um, it was tough. I mean, the first thing that was like the first practice session that I had as Akron, and I was like, wow, okay, that's a huge difference. It was
Oh,
the intensity,
mm,
uh, intensity on everything, runs, pressing, or even intensity with the ball. Everything was so different. Obviously in D3, you'll see like really, really good players, um, with the ball, but off the ball, I think was the most, was like the crazier thing, for me when I saw that. I was like, that's a huge difference. And I think the first few practices I kind of struggled with Akron because of that. Just not used to the intensity, and once you get going, it's getting better and better. And I think during the season, I also struggle during games with intensity, which I think normal. I do think I can get. I mean, I can get. I can be good during those games and
yeah.
get good at the intensity, but at the beginning it was quite tough. Not gonna lie, and there are some players to a Division 1 level when you're like, wow, like those guys are unbelievable. And um, obviously, physically was also a big difference. In Division 3, you'll see like 1 or 2 6'3" defender,
Really?
uh, or at least you'll see them, but they're not gonna be as fast as Division 1, or as good on the ball. Here you can see like defenders 6'4" and just sending class pings to the left and to the right, and you're like, right, that's gonna be a long day. But yeah, just first, I mean, I will say intensity is just a huge difference for me, between Division 3 and Division 1 level.
So that's the kind of thing that it doesn't, that's not something that you can practice so much, or like a first touch or like being able to be a better.
Yeah.
How do you match it? How do you come to match it?
Uh, I will say first in the summer, try to get as ready as you can. And I try to, but obviously the intensity of like running by yourself or practicing with the teammates is just so different. And I will say it's just go at practice and you're gonna struggle. You have to accept that you're gonna struggle. I did have a hard time in the beginning. Um, just for example, like just taking a touch, and for me, I'm just gonna have time to turn or stuff like that. You
Yeah.
just get pressed right away. It's just stuff like that when you're like, all right, that's the difference. That's where I need to work. That's what I need to work on. And I worked I worked with the coaches about it. They helped me. The assistant coaches helped me a lot with it. Um, so which is you have to talk to your coaches. Obviously, I talked to them about it, and they knew it. They were expecting it. That it's obvious. The intensity is so it's such a big difference that it's gonna happen, and I don't think it's part of the level. I think it's just part of being used to a different style of play. So yeah, I just struggle, but you have to accept it.
Yeah. And so, like, were you able to take certain things? And I'm sure this is a question that you get asked in some way or another, however often, but
Hmm.
the differences between French football and the U.S. American soccer system. Um, French football is definitely more technical, but the physical aspect is something that I think plays into that. And it goes, I think, a little hand in hand with the intensity as well, though, too, because
Yeah.
you have certain guys that, you think they like they eat something spicy, and that's what gets them through,
Hmm.
something like that. But did that play into, the changes that you had to make as well, or were you able really just to use your strengths? I feel like um, whatever, I don't want to give my thoughts on this. I'll let you speak on this as well, and then I'll talk about it. But
Yeah, I remember at St.Olaf. So yeah, obviously French football, I would say, is like more based on technical and tactical ability of the player. And when I got to St.Olaf for the first time, uh, I was good with the ball, but off the ball, I was kind of struggling. I was just getting every time I was trying to press someone, I was just getting bounced. Like it was no joke. I was too skinny, uh, not strong enough. So my brother told me right away, like we're gonna need to work on that because, I mean, I want you 100%, but I also want you to understand that that's not the same type of soccer. So I think when I got to the US, technically and tactically, I was maybe a step ahead compared to my teammates, but physically, in terms of intensity, I was below them, 100%. And I think I did. I think I after like the first COVID season, uh, I think I put the work in the gym, try to work on the field with the coaches just to get ready for intensity. And now again, it's a brand new intensity in Division 1 level compared to Division 3 level. So it took me a little time for it, but I think I'm getting there now. So I'm glad.
yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I was going to talk where I was going to talk a little bit before, but um, it seems like you've definitely met the ability to be able to compete physically and
Uh-huh.
with the intensity over this past year, but you've also leaned a little bit into this technical skill that I know a lot of
Yeah.
other players do end up using, but you use it in a unique way to where it's able to complement your physicality, whereas it's not technicality and being able to take on, players one on one is still very much a strength.
Hmm.
So tell me about that though too. Why was that such a central part of your development early on? Because I imagine this isn't something that, that just popped up out of nowhere. That's years of work in academies.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, French football is more based, at least when you're younger, more based on technical. And I always seen football as a joy, as a
Mhm.
moment of just enjoying. And I played a lot at school, uh, like at the field when I was practicing, or even after when I was young, just enjoying, or even in my backyard, just with my brother. I remember that time was maybe also the best time of my life, just playing in my backyard with my brother and just doing our stuff, dribbling, passing, shooting, all that. And I honestly think that's where I kind of got, I would say, my technical abilities. And yeah, I think, I mean, I just enjoyed so much, and I just did it as a joy. Obviously, soccer is a game, and sometimes I forget about this and just put too much pressure uh, on winning or doing the right thing. But at the end of the day, it's just a game, and you have to remember that and just play your game. Um, and I think at some point before coming to the US, I kind of forget about my technical abilities, and I was still running a lot and doing a lot of like off the ball stuff.
Right.
And when I got to St. Olaf, I actually discovered a new myself of like dribbling more, uh,
Mhm.
taking players more on 1v1, um, and sometimes just enjoying like megging people, just like doing
Right.
stuff that honestly I don't think I would have done it before. And
Mhm.
I actually, yeah, I think I discovered a new myself in my time at St. Olaf, and I want to give a big credit to the coaching, uh, to the coaches at St. Olaf because they just let me uh, express myself on the field. And it's so easy when you have a coach that just believe in you and just tell you, right, go out there, do your thing, enjoy. It's just like, I, there's no stress. You just go out there. Yeah. And with my background of playing soccer and just enjoying, you just want to dribble, you just want to make people, you just want to score, you just want to pass, you just want to do stuff like that. So no, it's good, and I'm really happy that I've made the move to St. because honestly, it just changed my game in terms of dribbling and technical abilities.
And so now, what else do you think that you've been able to develop in this past year? I know it's a short, time period, but is there, what else do you think has really grown and developed, in this last division, in this Division One season for you?
Honestly, I will say everything mentally, obviously, is the first thing that I will say because you just play away from your home. You were like far away from your home, like friends, families, and stuff. You speak a different language. You play different soccer. You play every 2, 3 days, so it's hard. Like you have to, if you lose a game, you have to get to bounce back real quick. I will say also scoring abilities. I don't think I scored a lot of goals back home in France. I was in I was a good scorer, but I think my time at CLF, I really scored a good amount of goals, and I think it's like the same of the technical abilities, kind of a new me. You kind of discover a new part of your game, and also confidence in myself. I'm usually, and I'm not actually a big confident guy in myself. Uh, I'll say I'm pretty humble, and I wouldn't say like, all right, I'm the best player in the country or stuff like that. I don't, it's just not me. But he also helped me to understand that I have a good, I'm decently good at soccer. So like I have to understand, and he gives you confidence so you play better. And yeah, I will say that those are the big things. And obviously physically, like I said before, uh, just a new, honestly, it's almost a new sport. Uh, so you have to get ready and to adapt to that.
And I think you're underselling yourself, though, to be completely honest with you. I think you're still absolutely. I mean, if I had to put my, my top 100, maybe it's not top drawer soccer. I still whatever. I'll still top drawer soccer's idea. If I put in the top 100, I
Thank
think
you.
absolutely most people's top
Thank
100.
you.
Certainly, I could tell you that for 100%.
Thank you.
Um, but and I think there's still absolutely that drive on your end to still be better, to be, confident, but not overly confident or arrogant or and nothing in that regard. But there still is just that drive to be better every
Hmm.
single day.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about, I mean, I'll leave this open for, interpretation, whatever games really come to mind for you. I'm leaving this, a little bit open, but, are there any other memorable season matches, whether it's between your time at St. Olaf's or, this past year with Akron that have really stuck with you or that you've left, feeling great from, if there are any particular ones? I mean, I imagine for you, it really is just, keep your head down, win the next game, regardless of what it ends up looking like. But if there's any memorable
Yeah.
matches, I'll leave you the chance to speak it through
Mm,
now. I feel like it really is just, I feel like,
sounds good. I think the first, I have probably two or three. The first one I will mention is against U Chicago last year with St. Olaf um, for the Elite Eight. So we never been in the Elite Eight before. It was the first time, and honestly, we didn't play good at all. It was first half was a joke. Like we went to the locker room, and I was like, "All right, that's just not us right now. Like we cannot compete." And they were the defending national champ at the time, U Chicago. So like always been a really good team. Really tough to play. I played against them every year of uh, my college career at St.Olaf, and always been a really tough team to play against. And halftime, I was like, not that's not gonna happen. I guess I don't feel like the guys are ready. And second half, I remember they had a breakaway after 5 minutes, and he missed it, and I was like, that's when I mentioned you need luck to win trophies and to win. At that moment, I was like, all right, maybe our chance. And just a great feeling is when I score a free kick from 28 or 29 yards. And honestly, if you ask me to do it again, I don't think I can do it. But it's just at the time, just like I made it. And when I scored, I'm like, all right, we're winning the game 100%. Like, and we scored 2 minutes left from a long throw header. It's just just honestly give me goosebumps when I remember the celebration with the lads after the game. It was just class because you just already going to age so proud because it never happened in the program history, and beating them because we never beat them. U Chicago during all my college career, we always tied or lost. So you going there with the feeling of like, all right, that's gonna be a really tough game, and you win. It's like 2 minutes left, and I score like a goal that like I think it's my most beautiful goal I've scored. Like I'm really far, and I shoot it, man. I'm like when I before taking the free kick, I'm like, all right, should I cross it or take should I try? And I was
Right.
like, all right, try it. It's now or never, And when I saw the ball back in the net, I was like, wow, all right, so let's win that game now. It's 1-1. Let's do it. And for Akron time, I will say probably Creighton. I had two assists that game. It was a really tough game. I mean, it was a tough game. Creighton is a really good team. And I wouldn't say we were scared. We're just, I mean, we knew that Creighton could hurt us. So, we're all right, let's go out there, try to do our best. And obviously, having two assists into a game like that is always great. So, great feeling. And yeah, I mean, Big East. And we knew it was a big game. We played like, I think 3 games in 10 days, 8 days. I think it was the third game, and it was so you need to end up in a good with a good note and winning 3-0 at home against a team that end up Akron season last year. It's always good. So yeah, I think that one will be my the game that I'll remember the most from now on.
Right. So I've got one more thing. Firstly,
Yeah,
I really appreciate the time that we've been able to have with
of
the
course.
the second all-time points leader in St. Olaf's history, 36 goals, 23 assists. Figure I just throw that out there right now, 95 points total. I had to throw that out there. But with the rest of this season all to go for Akron, whether the rest of the Big East tournament, the national tournament bid, which I'm sure is on its way for you boys. But what can we expect from Victor, and what can we expect from the rest of the Zips team, throughout the rest of the season?
uh, I'll start with the team first. Don't I'm not like I don't like to talk about myself much.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
No, I will talk about myself, but
Okay, okay.
always team first, always team first. And team will be just to give 100% every single game. Just try to win the trophy. Obviously, we just don't want to get the our large beat to NCAA tournament, even though we want to make it, but uh, we want to win the trophy. It's always better to win a trophy, confidence, and just I mean, like I said earlier, players they just want to win everything, and we won the Big East. We want to do the double, which is the playoff as well. And once you win that one, it's just on the next one. Just want to win the next game, and trying to win the national trophy. So yeah, and for myself, just give everything on the field. Try to help my teammates to score, to pass and just to win games, and just to try to be the best teammates on and off the field. If I'm not on the field, try to encourage them and help them to overcome adversity and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope so. I will get more goals and assists. But if it doesn't come, I'm fine. I mean, just want to win, so we'll see.
All right, I think that was exceptionally well said, Victor. I'm all out of my own questions. I again really appreciate the time that you've, allowed our platform to be something for you to be able to tell your story. I'll always be grateful for that. But of
Thank you.
course, if there's anything else that you'd like to put out there at the end of this interview, I'm, more than willing to leave it to you. Otherwise, best of luck with the rest of the season, my man.
That's good. Thank you so much. No, I
Of
don't have
course.
much to say. Thank you again for inviting me here. Really appreciate it.
Of course. You have a supporter in me and the rest to kickball the rest of the way and everything else that's to come.
That's good. Thank you.